When Doku's packed and 80,000 fans just screaming the fight song, it's the coolest moment of your life. That and the minute you run that flag straight down the field in front of 80,000 people to start a football game, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. There's nothing better.
Ever since a young age, New Jersey native Grant Gibbs has been drawn to the sport of cheerleading.
I grew up doing gymnastics like the majority of my life. I started when I was 3 years old, and then I started competing when I was 10. And then I feel like I kind of lost the love of the sport by the time I was a freshman in high school. So I looked for another sport that involved tumbling at like a competitive level, and that was all-star cheerleading.
Bringing his talents from all-star cheerleading to Hillsborough High School, nothing stopped Grant from creating his own legacy.
Like, I grew up and never had seen like a boy cheerlead in any school. And so eventually I was just like, you know what, like I've been cheering this long, like I'm pretty comfortable with myself and I don't really care what people in my high school think. Like, why not do high school cheerleading?
You know, he was the first high school cheerleader as male high school cheerleader. And, you know, he blazed a trail for a number of other boys who are now cheering at that high school.
I would say that Grant had definitely a lot of talent. Probably the most we've seen out of male cheerleader at Hillsborough. And I think that his personality and his characteristics of his motivation and his determination have obviously driven him to thrive in his college cheerleading as well.
Grant brought his talents here to FSU, where he is currently cheering his final year for the Seminoles.
Absolutely the best choice for Grant to go to FSU. He has loved every minute of it, has embraced all the advantages of FSU.
When you want to be a cheerleader, you want to go to Florida State. Like, it's one of those schools that have like a really prestigious cheerleading team, and the fact that I get to tell people he's on it is super cool.
As captain of the cheer team, Grant's natural leadership skills have made a lasting impact on the people around him.
He loves to have fun. He loves to be himself. He's never been afraid of who he is as long as I've known him, and it makes working with him every day really, really easy.
If I wasn't an FSU cheerleader, like my whole entire college career wouldn't have been the same. Like, it's definitely shaped my entire FSU experience, and I love this school so much. Like, I love my teammates, like the friends I've made over the years too. Like, I know I'll have for the rest of my life.
He brings an excitement. He's a phenomenal game day cheerleader. Even I can tell the difference of the games that Grant's at and the games that Grant's not at, because it's just this presence that he brings.
I've learned a lot about school spirit from him and a lot about leadership. I go to him now figuring out leadership questions as I try to step into leading the team, and I really heavily rely on Grant as a person and who he is as a leader.
As Grant closes out his last season as a Nole, he proves that cheerleading is more than just a sport.
The sport of cheerleading is like having an instant family, like outside of your own. You're literally like lifting each other up, like physically and mentally, so it's like an escape from reality in a lot of ways.
Currently, cheerleading is not recognized as a sport by the NCAA, and Grant plans on fighting for all student athletes well past his own cheerleading days.
Cheerleading has evolved since 1960. Like, we don't just jump around, shake our pom-poms. There's a ton of athleticism that goes into it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 3. I think cheer, like, I'm always gonna be a huge advocate for the sport of cheerleading now, and when I'm well past cheerleading and I'm in my old age and my back is breaking because of all the tumbling I did when I was younger.
I love it. I'm very proud. I try to teach that in my children to, you know, speak out and try to do what you feel is your correct path and, you know, advocate. So I love it. I've always been very, very proud of him, and hope he continues to do that in his lifetime.
I'm Jordan Karnback, reporting.